Yeah, welcome to Rap Rhetoric episode 4 with your host, Totem. You know where the name is at. You know this episode 4 Rap Rhetoric, Jermaine's Week. I'm calling it Jermaine's Week because this episode is very, very, very interesting and very close to my heart. As you know, J.Cole released an album last week. Very, very, very with controversy. Even it came with controversy that we didn't even know was there till the album was released, and we heard the last track, and then things kind of spiraled out of control after that. Which is not really out of control, but yeah, J. Cole released an album last week titled KOD. With three different titles: Kids on Drugs, King Overdose, and Kill Our Demons. And basically, on today's show, or really on episode 4, we're going to review that album, and I'm gonna give my opinion about the album and the role of the album in hip hop today. As I had said on my social media pages, I'm gonna have a couple of, and on episode 3, I'm gonna have a couple of unpopular opinions in regards to my opinion when it comes to the album and like the role of the album in the state of hip hop. But we're gonna get into that as the show commences. So welcome to episode 4 of Rap Rhetoric, Jermaine's Week, and let's go. So on today this episode, really we're really doing a mashup of Checking the Avenue. As you guys know from the first or the second episode, Checking the Avenue is where I review albums. Right, I'm supposed to be reviewing albums on the show. On top of that, I'm supposed to give my opinion in regards to the state of hip hop in South Africa and America. So I mean, America's been taken over this week. Meek Mill got out. You're gonna see this tomorrow. So Meek Mill got out today. But yeah. Anyway, so Meek Mill got out. So shout out to Meek Mill. Meek Mill is home. Saw some Instagram pictures when on his Instagram he was at the game. The Philadelphia 69ers. With Kevin Hart. So shout out to that. So yeah, Meek Mill's home. Yeah, whatever. So but anyway, going back to the original point, this episode is not gonna like split what Would Totem Say with Checking Out the Avenue where I review albums. I'm gonna give y'all what Would Totem Say and the Avenue as one. But then obviously we want to package it as what Would Totem Say, because apart from me reviewing the album, a lot that I have to say is a lot that I have to say. Yeah, this English thing is doing the thing right now. So yeah, let's go. Let's go straight to. Let's go. I almost said let's go on to. Yeah, let's go straight to. What Would Totem Say? WWTS. So first of all, let's start with this J. Cole thing. J. Cole KOD. I like the cover. Shout out to J. Cole for that. Shout out to the accolades that he thingy. We know him as Mr. Platinum. Mr. Platinum with no features. This is his 5th album. He's been taking out obviously like very culturally shifting albums. We know him as part of the 5 horsemen, the 5 OGs. Kendrick, Drake, him, Wale, and actually who's the 5th one? J Electronica. Yeah, but like we're gonna cut it now. We're going the 4 horsemen because J Electronica kind of fell off. But in my opinion, he's part of the saviors of hip hop, which is just only 4: Kendrick, Drake, Cole, and Wale in no particular order. So obviously, if he's gonna drop an album, he's gonna do something that's gonna shift the culture and kind of save the culture. So he did that this last week. He dropped an album, and a whole lot of people. It was funny to see a whole lot of people have like an opinion on J. Cole album, because these upcoming years, people didn't really have an opinion when it came to a J. Cole album. You'd have us fans, who had an opinion and we would express our opinion on social media, and that was that. And then now you have a group of people who are kind of like, yo, fuck J. Cole. Oh, yo, J. Cole ain't really all that. And like they would ridicule us J. Cole fans. So they would say things like a J. Cole would breathe and a fan would go crazy. And I'm like, yo, where the fuck do y'all come from? Back when we were bumping Born Sinner, y'all weren't there. You know, back when we were bumping Sideline Story, you probably don't know some of the songs from Sideline Story. But that's my whole Taproy opinion about it, you know. But it was very interesting to see that on social media that people now have a lot to say about J. Cole and this album specifically, you know, without no reference point to previous albums. But that's either here or there, you know. But this album is great, you know. As a fan, I'm just gonna say that this album is great. But because I have to stay objective, because I got this YouTube channel that I'm really trying to get popping off, so I can get these endorsements. Wah wah. Like, subscribe. Yeah, I gotta stay objective. So I wrote some shit down. You know, I got my notes in front of me right here. I'm not gonna fuck around like I did the last time with the Cardi B joint. So I got my notes around here, and we just gonna go straight into it. So the album starts with the intro, a beautiful intro. You know, from you know or not from, but yeah, from a lady. Yeah, a beautiful intro, right? With rather, not even from. This English thing is doing the thing for real today. I didn't go to work. It was lit. Taxi strike. But anyway, yeah. So the album starts with a lady. You know, she's out here talking about how life is hard and whatever, and you know, niggas needs to choose wisely, and obviously it alludes to choices. This album is really about choices. You know, this album is about choices. That's the main focus, right? Like, yo, you need to choose your path in this life, and you know, you need to choose the right one. I guess that's what J. Cole is trying to tell you. But you know, this lady starts like, yo, life is hard. She starts with an analogy of a child. You know, like a child is when a child is happy, they will laugh, and when a child cries, like, yo, this is uncomfortable or whatever, and I'm feeling pain, and life is full of pain, and choose wisely. And you know, you have this whole thing where J. Cole is just singing as Kill Edward. Y'all didn't know Kill Edward. I told y'all, Kill Edward is J. Cole with a high pitched voice, or with a low pitched voice, whatever the case may be. But you know, he's singing. It's not written there as Kill Edward, by the way, but you can hear it. So he's singing out there, and whatever the case may be, and it's a beautiful intro, you know, with the nice luscious sounds, you know, some jazz out there, percussions, and whatever the case may be. I'm fucking with that intro. You know what I'm saying? So the album starts well, and the lady just kind of sets the tone. You know, like, yo, this is what's going on. Boom, boom, boom. Choose wisely. And then after the intro, we go into the second track called KOD, of which I believe it stands for King Overdose. You know, this is a very quintessential J. Cole song. You know, I am the shit. You know, if you listen to J. Cole's mixtapes from like the come up, the warm up, all the albums or whatever, he has to have a song where he's like, yo, I am the shit, I am the best, I am this guy. You ain't got nobody else. I'm that guy. And KOD is really that. You know, he's a king that is overdosed on his hype, sort of like, you know, and he's really just going in, you know, rapping about how he's the shit. Let me just check my notes what I wrote here. You know, like he really does like normal shit. You know, his normal I'm the shit narrative. He always goes into his normal, yo, this is what I saw as a child in the Ville, or this is who I would run the streets with, and this is what these guys was doing and whatever. So obviously you're gonna have that type of track when it comes to a J. Cole album. You know, so KOD is really that way. He's really like bragging, you know, and he's just like, yo, listen, this is what you call a flip, 10 keys, whatever the case may be. I don't really know the lyrics like that.
This is what you call a flip, 10 keys from a car to brick, Bentley from his mama with.
But that's basically what the track is all about, you know. But it segues because towards the end of the track, you know, they talk about the different things you can get addicted to, you know, power, money,
Molly.
We
and they end up with a powerful statement.
Struggle them all.
and the strongest struggle them all. Love.
And I found that very important, you know, because it kind of segues. Another thing, this album is very beautifully constructed because it segues into the next track, you know. And after they mention the most powerful thingy, drug is love, it segues into the second track, Photograph, which really the main plot of the song is social media love. You know, some of you people that are watching, you know, you always go on thinking Instagram and you see someone and then it's like love at first sight because she's so popping, you know. And then you find, and that premise is really very prevalent on Twitter, because you find hashtag just find love with Collie, you know, find love with Collie, or where you would really see somebody just off of a pic, you know, and like brief details, you know, like, yo, Durban 25, looking for this, that, then third, and then people would find love just like that. You know what I'm saying? So Photograph is really based on that. That's the premise of the song, and I think it's very important for that song in the current climate that we in as a generation, as a people. So I think that that track is important. You know what I'm saying, for society as a whole. And obviously, that's J.Cole style. He wouldn't really make an album without touching on key thing points within society, like, yo, this is what's going on, this is what I'm seeing, and obviously give his opinion or give a narrative, of which in this sense he's giving a narrative from the perspective of a person that fell in love. So beautiful track. Of course, the beat is dope. I like the 808s. You understand? I like the 808s. He incorporated a lot of 808s on this album. I like the 808s. I like the beat. Cole is always crazy with the beat selection. I'm messing with the crooning because Cole doesn't know how to sing really, but I'm messing with the crooning. Like, he croons a lot, and as a fan, he's been listening to Cole croon for like many years. So I mess with the crooning. I mess with the writing. Of course, I mean, this is Cole. This is not just any other. This is not Lil I'll Shank Your Mama. So of course it was beautifully written, the song. I like the storytelling aspect, or it's not really storytelling, but the way he really wrote the song. It's in the perspective of a person that has fallen in love with somebody that they saw on social media. So I'm messing with that, and obviously because I am an inhabitant of this. Did I say that right? But whatever, of this generation or whatever, I can relate, to the thing. Then we go into the cutoff. The cutoff is another important song. He really talks about fake friends, very shaky relationships, very one-sided relationships. I'm sure we all had friends that were really there just for being there, and that felt entitled because they gave us whatever they gave us at whatever time when we needed it. And now that fast forward, they feel like they can just be there, like, yo, nigga, you owe me this much, you gotta do this for me because I did this for you and whatever. And that's really a fucky situation. But I'm sure we've been in that situation. And what's very interesting about that is that now that, I mean, rap has always had cliques, and entourages, but the entourages have become incredibly huge now. These kids are like bringing all of their friends. They probably bringing all their high school boys club. You know what I'm saying? And in such a situation, you find, or in such an environment, you find such a situation where now you got niggas that are just chilling there and leeching off you. So that's what the cutoff is all about. Incredible. I feel like Cole did a great job, with the crooning as Kill Edward too. What's very important is that time will tell.
Time will tell who is on my side. Time will tell just who.
Because in our generation, we really live in an instant gratification type like world. So we really want things to happen. Like, yo, ride or die for me now, nigga. We really living the extreme of everything. So, and obviously time will tell really what who's real and who's not. So he really touches on that, and I like that part where he croons. So that's the cutoff. I think it's a beautiful track. As far, I mean, we on the third song, and I mean, we should, if you're watching this and you've listened to the album, you should know, like, the musicality of the album is beautiful. There's nothing you can argue. That guy from Needle Drop, Fat Logic, fuck that guy. But like, there's nothing you can argue as far as the musicality. Like, but what is very important about the album is the themes. Don't forget, he's got 3 different titles. You know what I'm saying? And at this moment in time, you know he's really challenging, or he's really speaking on the king overdose type theme. You understand? I mean, as a king, you got your peoples out here, in his case, that is, I mean, or in anybody that's on a higher level, a higher pedestal, you got people that you got to look after and whatever. And that responsibility can fuck you up here, and you can really get overdosed with the hype or whatever that's going on right there. In such situations like the cutoff, tend to happen, and whatever the case may be. And even because of your power and your social clout, like a photograph type situation can happen, where you look at somebody and then you feel like, yo, I'm trying to handle this situation, boom, boom, boom. So it's not only for the common man that goes on Twitter and scrolls down looking for love or whatever. But for a person in power like himself, like a king, you understand, you thingy, you can find yourself in such situations. The fourth track, ATM, my favorite track by far. ATM is a very interesting song because Cole adapts to the current state of hip hop. He's got the fire thingy chorus. Count it up, cause
Count it up, count it up, count it up, count it, count it up, count it up, count it up.
repetition. Like for a song to be a jam, really the hook gotta be repetitive. You understand? And he's got that count it up, count it up, count it up, count it up, which is fire because it catches you. That's your hook. You understand? The 808, incredible. The video, oh my god, the video. The themes that are in the video is incredible. But the song in itself is incredible. He really just touches on he says something like you can't take it when you die, but you can't live without it.
Count it up, count it. Can't take it when you die, but you can't live without it. Count it up.
Which he's talking about money, ATM. He's talking about money. But what I find interesting is like, even though you really don't leave with it, fuck it, still chase the money. And he really just touches on what people can do to get that money. You know what I'm saying? Like I, for one, I do a whole lot of shit to get the bag, and everybody that's watching this is probably in the same situation where you're like, yo, I'm just trying to get the bag and move, my nigga. I don't even give a fuck. I'm just trying to get the bag and whatever. So he really touches on that, and obviously on the video he just really illustrates how people would go to like literally the end of the earth just to get the bag. You understand? So that's what Cole is all about, and that's what ATM is really all about. And it really, if you really go back to the themes of the album, I mean the three titles, everything reverts back to the three titles. You could put ATM in a kill our demon situation because money could be your demon. This is something that drives you to move and be destructive. Or you could put it to the king overdose situation because when you're on that pedestal, you understand, when you're on that pedestal, boy, you trying to get that bag so you can stay on that pedestal. And even you can put it to the kids on drugs, you understand, in a very minuscule manner, because I mean when you got that drug, then you got to get that bag to get your drug. So you could really put it in different categories or the different titles because they serve as different categories in the album. But just nonetheless, the song is an incredible song, incredible message. He really touches on some very important points on this album. Cole really touches on some important points. I saw a tweet that said Cole is like the uncle that made it and now he's trying to give game to us, and that's literally it. What Jay-Z was trying to do on 444 is what Cole is doing right now in a much more appealing way because he's part of our generation. I mean, Cole is like, fuck, I don't know what, 30, 32, 33, you understand? And Jay is like 47, 48. So, obviously the message might be the same, but the delivering will be different. But I feel this is what Cole is trying to do with this album. And on ATM, he's really just telling us, yo, go get the fucking bag. Go get the bag. No matter what's going on, go get the bag. But don't forget that the bag is so powerful. It can drive us to do some fire, crazy, out of this world, dangerous shit that will put us in harm's way. But after that, we got the motivate track, which really continues the narrative, like motivated to get that money, and that's that. But after the motivate track, we go into Kevin Hart, and Kevin's Heart is really, if you know about it, Kevin's Heart is based on Kevin Hart's story on cheating, on the wife while she was pregnant or whatever the case may be. And it really focuses on cheating and lying and whatever in a relationship. And obviously, if you look at the tumultuous, very, very, very big word, but if we look at the chaotic environment that we exist in as millennials, I mean, Twitter, Instagram, this, that, and third, it's very hard. I remember I once said, it's very hard to commit, because shit moves so fast and you need to commit to a lot of things at the same time so you can get to where you need to go and get whatever you need to get that it's hard to you got to commit to your career, you got to commit to a relationship, you got to commit to this, you got to commit to that. And unfortunately, things like cheating, because it doesn't necessarily mean when you cheat you cheating on, like, cheating is just reserved for your relationship. You know what I'm saying? Cheating could be, you could be cheating on, I mean, I know I'm cheating on my exercise routine, bro. I'm supposed to be at the gym, but I'm out here shooting Rap Rhetoric episode 4 with y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm cheating on my health. There's probably somebody cheating on their career right now, doing Lord knows whatever. And obviously, we know there's people that's cheating on their wives or their girlfriends or whatever because they are tempted to do something else. So this is what the song really like talks about, in my opinion. Just the cheating of life. And obviously using Kevin Hart as a catalyst and his story as a catalyst to push the song forward, and obviously using a very a very digestible theme like relationships, it pushes the message forward, and we get to understand what Cole is all about. I like how he always brings back the drugs joint. Slim me as any at once somebody. I mess with that. Because he always focuses on the theme. That's what I like about this album. Thematically, it's very concise and very seamless. Very concise, very seamless. You can follow it. I mean, you can repeat the album like 6-7 times. You know what I'm saying? Because it doesn't do this. It's like straightforward to the point. You can listen to it. It's seamless. It's very well crafted, but that comes with experience. I mean, this man is 5 albums deep. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Platinum with no features. So basically that's what Kevin's Heart, the song, is all about. And then we go into Brackets, which is another song, my favorite, and another powerful song for me, because as a young professional who doesn't really necessarily understand anything about thingy money and statutory laws when it comes to money and earnings or whatever. The other day I got my pay slip and I see I'm paying taxes now, and I'm like, God damn, I mean, it's not a lot. They're not taking a lot, compared to Cole, that is, but they still taking my money. And I was like, yo, these niggas taking my money, right? And they supposedly say my money is fixing roads, but where I come from in the W, there's potholes and shit. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of like fucked up situations that we're in as far as service delivery where I live, and it's kind of like, yo, what am I paying for there? You know what I'm saying? And it's basically what Brackets is all about. He starts the thing in the song with a Richard Pryor skit. He of which he did that on Killers. I don't know if y'all know Killers, but it's not the first time he uses Richard Pryor, to start a song on the song Killers, like that probably came out 2009 or something like that. He used Richard Pryor, as a skit where Richard Pryor was basically just talking about murderers and whatever, which is a bit from his comedy. His stand-up comedy, some live at the Sunset. So on this one, he starts again with Richard Pryor, where Richard Pryor kind of just tells people like he's making so much money and it's fucking unbelievable. And Cole just goes into the whole thing of, yo, listen, I'm making so much money and these motherfuckers are taking so much taxes, right? But we still subjected to I know people that are still subjected to bullshit conditions. So what the fuck am I paying for?
I pay taxes, so much taxes, shit don't make sense. Where do my dollars go? You see, lately I ain't been convinced. I guess they say my dollars supposed to build roads and schools, but my niggas barely graduate, they ain't got the tools.
And he brings it back and makes it relatable by using a story, a story about a dude, quintessential American, black American dude story. Dude lives in the ghetto. He does what he needs to do to get the bag. You know what I'm saying? He's selling drugs, whatever the case may be. Boom, boom, boom. He's got a little brother, whatever the case may be. That dude gets shot, or whatever the case may be. And, at the end of that whole story, when the lady, the mother of the dude, needs to go to the funeral, she gotta, it's like, yo, fuck, I need to file my taxes. And it kind of brings it back, like, even in fucked up situations, like you go and go bury your son, the government don't give a fuck. You need to go still file your taxes. So that's what Brackets is all about. And it's really interesting for me, because I'm in that bracket, and most of us are in that bracket now. Like, yo, we need to really start paying taxes like that. But if you really look at it, what the fuck are you paying taxes for? So, and obviously I'm not a political dude. I probably like I'm talking about taxes in like the most fucked up way or whatever. There's probably people who can explain where taxes really go, but that's basically what brackets is all about, and that's why I like it, because I feel the same way. On to the eighth track, Once an Addict. Once an Addict, it's a very, very, very important song. Again, Cole touches on how the mom, Cole has been talking about the mom's addiction for quite some time now, and he touches on the mom's addiction and how the stepdad kind of left the moms, and he was pissed and he was subjected to see that, and he himself spiraled into an addiction of weed and whatever the case may be, and he talks about that, and that's really what this is. It's kind of like the trend right now, where we go through so much shit that we'd rather self-medicate, and that's how Xans and lean and Percocets and all of this shit really comes into play. You understand? And really found itself in mainstream hip hop, because it's kind of like, yo, we go through so much shit as black people. Fuck it, let me medicate. You know what I'm saying? And he really focuses on the song Frames, which is the next song after Once an Addict. He really focuses on the whole addiction thing. Like, yo, we probably don't need to do the medication thing. We can just do the meditation thing. Don't meditate, right? And it's a very hard thing to really, bridge through, because meditation is very hard. Like, I tried doing meditation myself, and I mean, we all have forms of coping with this life thing. It's full of pain. Choose wisely, of which that's what it says when he starts the album. But basically, he's just talking on thinking Once an Addict and my friends. He's just talking about, yo, listen, we don't necessarily need to do the medication thing. We don't necessarily need to overindulge in drugs. We can really, really, really meditate. And Window Pane, I fucking love the song Window Pane. I fucking love the song. I think Cole is really talking to my soul. When it comes to Window Pane, and many of us, I'm sure, where I feel like at that point when he gets to Window Pane, he's really on some, yo, all I just want to do is do all the nice things that I really plan to do.
All I ever wanted was to hear them bitches holler back. Get some money plus respect, and now look, I got all of that. All I wanna do is see my granny on the other side. All I wanna do is kill the man that made my mama cry. All I wanna do is touch a platinum plaque and celebrate.
All the dreams that I had, I really want to do that shit. But on my way of getting there, I had to encounter this and that and this and that and this and that. And he briefly tells the story of the little girl that's on the song, the skit of the little girl of the cousin with his face got shot off and whatever the case may be. And it's kind of like bringing it back, before we go into 1989, because is it 1989 or 1985? I think it's 1985. Excuse me, I keep on fucking up the joint, right? But basically the last track on the song, I don't want to go into that just yet, because that's really like the whole sensationalization thing. Like, that track is over sensationalized. He's really giving advice to a young rapper and whatever, but obviously hip hop journalism made it a thing, so I'm not even going to touch on that. But going back to Window Pane, I feel like this is where Cole really wraps it up. He really wraps it up, and he's like, yo, listen, this life thing is fucking hard, and at the end of the day, all we trying to do is touch that platinum plaque, or all we trying to do is get that million, and all we trying to do is get that car, that house, whatever the case may be. But we go through so much shit, sometimes it leaves us in a fucked up situation, in a fucked up state. So he just talks about that and whatever the case may be. And I feel like it's a very powerful song, because it kind of like ties in everything. Why sometimes we are kings that overdose in our hype, why sometimes the kids are on drugs, and why we need to kill our demons to move forward, from that point that we are in. So I think, I just broke down every track in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? I think this is what Cole is saying. And as far as the album goes, obviously I'm going to give a positive review, because it's a great album. It's a great album. I give it five fire flame emojis, five fire flame emojis, five fire flame emojis. You know what I'm saying? It's fire. It's incredible. It's great. It's great. And I believe like it's going to be a classic. We in a generation that doesn't understand really what Cole is trying to say. If you really look at it, the younger generation pushes the conversation. That's why my 2000 are slaying the shit out of us. But I think, in my opinion, as like as a 26-year old, I feel like Cole is really talking to me in a very special way. He's really saying a lot of shit that I need to hear and that will help me navigate my life from this point onwards. So I think the album is very important. The album is great. But now, this is what's wrong with the album. This is what's wrong with the timing of the album or whatever. I personally feel that it was kind of fucked up to release and it was kind of pretentious to release the album on 420. 420 is National Weed Day or Marijuana Day. And for a guy that actually smokes weed, like Cole has said many a times that he smokes. On Jermaine's interlude, he talks about it like the first few bars. The warm up, the come up, everywhere he talks about, yo, I occasionally dabble in weed. So for you to drop such an album that kind of condemns drugs, on 420, that's a dick move. First of all, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of pretentious because it's like, dude, we get what you're trying to say, but dude, don't act like you don't dabble in weed. You know what I'm saying? Unless he stopped, but he still dabbled in weed. You understand what I'm saying? So I think that was fucked up in that manner. I really believe like that was really pretentious. I mean, it's great PR, but like it's really pretentious because now it kind of takes away from the authenticity of who Jermaine Cole is because it's like, dude, I mean, you smoke weed too. The fuck, man? We celebrated marijuana. And second to that, we all fighting for the legalization of marijuana. You know what I'm saying? Because we know what that will do to the world. We know what marijuana does. You know, Marijuana is actually a good ass drug, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, shit. I don't smoke marijuana all the time, but when I occasionally do it, I'm always happy and hungry. That's all it does. You know what I'm saying? So, I think that was very pretentious for him to do that and still go back and be like, yo, this shit needs to be legalized though. And we need to stop talking about black men for slanging this shit while white ladies are on the TV talking about this shit makes them happy. Like, yeah, that's where I'm like, dude, you didn't have to do that. It kind of takes away from your authenticity as that authentic rapper that we've looked up to for many years. Second to that, I think the album came at the most perfect time, but for a different generation, I believe. You know what I'm saying? If you look at 1985 or whatever the fuck the name is, right? But the song that everybody's talking about. He's addressing young rappers supposedly and allegedly smoke perp and Lil Pump. You know what I'm saying? 17-year-olds, and he really talks about like, yo, listen, man, let's stop judging these kids. They still young, but yo, listen, stop fucking around though. Which is good advice from your OG, right? But I feel like, I for one wouldn't have done that at that moment in time because it's like you're going up against a whole culture, the majority of the culture. Now, hip hop is huge, right? Hip hop is huge as fuck. You have 3 generations of fans in hip hop. Three, bro. Three. Probably 4. You have your 40-year-olds, you have your 30-year-olds, you have your 20-year-olds, and you have your teens. So 4, right? And everybody's catered for. You know what I'm saying? Redman, Method Man, and Jay-Z, they still taking out albums touring. Then you got your 30-year-olds, 50 Cents, all the world, you know what I'm saying? And the J.Cole's and the Drakes, who dabble in really both the 30s and the 20s, they dabble in both audiences. I guess that's why they sell it so much because they got both generations in lock. But you still have your 20-year-olds like your Chances and your Vince Staples and all of these guys who cater for the 20-year-olds. And then you got Lil Pump, Smoke Perp, and all of these kids, Lil Yachty's who got the little kids. You understand? Who got the little kids? And these kids are killing it. Like they dominating the game right now. So I think for a J. Cole who's an OG, the timing was kind of off, but at the same time, it's kind of like, hey, we kind of needed this album though to help us navigate this life thing. But at the same time, you didn't really have to drop it and put such messages, you know what I'm saying, like on the album. I for one would have pulled out the 1985 song, or I would have said it differently. But I mean, Cole has been taking shots at these kids for a while now. I mean, Lil whatever on that Everybody Gotta Die track, on which was really a bonus on thingy for your eyes only. You know what I'm saying? He's killing the kids out there. He's killing the kids, man. Like, hey, coach, chill out, man. You know what I'm saying? So he comes back and kind of like pushes the dagger further in, like, yo, fuck y'all. But he doesn't necessarily say that. But I mean, come on, you know what I'm saying? So I think he shouldn't have done that. Obviously, your opinions will vary, but I think, man, you just should have given us the 10 tracks. You know what I'm saying? The 10 tracks or the 11 tracks, and it just could have been like, all right, cool, dude, we good. You know what I'm saying? You because he finished the album off properly on window pane. You know, so I guess that was just. I mean, rap is a competitive sport at the same time, so I guess that was just him just being on some yo. Don't forget, I'm still an OG. And I can just still kill because my skills is real. You know, I stay ill. You know, so that was that, and I think just lastly, man, like, um, when Cole said like I don't think these niggas deserve to be on my album. I didn't really fuck with that line personally because I'm like, again, it's still kind of pretentious. You know what I'm saying? Like Lord knows, bro, we could have gotten that J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar album a long time ago. It's just a schedule clash. One, two, bro. Don't act like you know what I'm saying. Like, don't act like Kendrick ain't your boy like that, and you really like when you make an album, you consider him, like you, or rather you don't consider him, because you do. You know what I'm saying. On Born Sinner, he came through, he handled the chorus. You know, granted, on Forest Hills Drive, you were telling your story. On For Your Eyes Only, you were telling someone else a story that you felt obligated to tell, right? And for this one, you just trying to be an OG giving game to the younger kids. But don't say shit like, yo, I don't think any of these niggas deserve to be on my album. There's a shitload of rappers you would like to have on your album. There's just schedule clashes and certain things. And on this album, it's not really like it's tailored for your own personal interest like the other two albums. This album is really just you trying to give a universal message, you know, to the rest of the world and the kids. Like, yo, boom, boom, this is what's going on. And you know there's niggas that actually do that too, and probably do it better than you. You know, that is left for interpretation and debate. But you know what I'm saying. So don't be saying things like that, like, yo, I think these niggas don't deserve to be on my album because now you missed the platinum with no features. Chill the fuck out, Jermaine. We love you though, but chill the fuck out. You can still get checked out here in these YouTube streets by kids from South Africa who feel like their opinions is as important as fucking DJ academics. You know what I'm saying? So that was really it. That's my unpopular opinion on the album. You know, I think the album was like him dropping the album 420 incredibly pretentious because you smoke weed. You know, second of all, I think the timing was kind of off, but I understand though because it still delivers the message. If he was a terrible writer, right? If he was a terrible writer and he didn't like fucking put the song, I mean the album right as far as themes and whatever, right, bro? We were gonna call you an OG that is very pissed off that the kids are killing it right now. You know what I'm saying? We gotta say that, but because you J. Cole, you clocked in a whole lot of millions, you sell out concerts, and you actually make incredible albums, we'll forgive you, OG. We'll forgive you. I still wish you were my brother though. So that's that. And then just thirdly, stop acting like now you can live life without features. You know, I mean you can, but don't act like you ain't done. You ain't done features, or there's nobody you won't do features with now because you feel like you don't want. Kendrick is out here doing the thing that does the thing for the thing, boy. And y'all got an album that you need to drop. So yeah, that's that. For episode 4 of Rap Rhetoric. You know what I'm saying? Jermaine's week. I think Jermaine's week is very incredible. He has had a great week. I think this album is very incredible. Five flame emojis. I think it's going to shift the culture in a very big way. As far as subject matter and whatever. But at the same time, let's not act like this album is the first album to talk about drugs. Back in 2014, right, Chance took out 3, and he spoke about drugs hella there. He was like, yo, drugs is fucked up, this, that, and third. And actually, what's so funny is that if you really look at the albums, like they talk about kind of like the same thing and they have the same, like themes a bit, and even the covers are like kind of the same. So Cole, I'm not really sure, man. I'm not really sure, man. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, Chance came out with like a drug theme thingy, like, yo, don't be out here doing drugs, drugs is trash and whatever the case may be. So let's not act like Cole is the first one to do that. Just that Cole has obviously a bigger reach than Chance, and his album will be obviously received much better than Chance because it's just J. Cole. So yeah, what I wanted to say lastly is that obviously now I'm just fucking around with the order of the show, but I think the album is really influenced right by the seven deadly sins. I'm gonna put them on the screen because I'm not about to fucking list them because I don't have them right now. But I think the album is influenced by the seven deadly sins. If you really look at some of the seven deadly sins, they kind of align with some of the tracks and whatever the case may be. So I think that was a large influence on Cole, to when he was writing the album. You got sin, you got gluttony, you got lust, you got all of that. And I mean, if you look at lust, Kevin's heart. If you look at sin, Kevin's heart and everything else. If you look at gluttony, you got motivate and ATM, and you know what I'm saying, lust, photograph, you know what I'm saying. So I mean, I could only like name three at the top of my head, but if you look at the seven deadly sins, some of the tracks, most likely most of the tracks, align with the seven deadly sins. So I think that was incredible from Cole, in putting that into perspective. So yeah, that's all that I had to say about KOD, King Overdose, Kill Our Demons and Kids on Drugs by J. Cole, Jermaine Lamont Cole. uh like, subscribe, man. Like, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at the Godly Totem, at the Godly underscore Totem. You know my name, Totem Khale. Yeah. But you guys can call me Totem. Thank you for watching episode 4 of Rap Rhetoric. And I'm gonna catch you episode 5. Episode 5 is not really gonna be this fire. It's gonna be much more fire flames. Episode 5, we're gonna talk about the authenticity of rap. Is rap autobiographical? And we're gonna talk about rap and really trap, and just look at the authenticity of both genres or both sub-genres, whatever the case, conscious rap and trap. And yeah, man, I think that one's gonna be great. Thank you for watching. I know this one is a long ass one. It's a long ass one. But thank you for watching, and I'll check your episode 5. Peace.